So, hello everyone. My name is Shawn Williams, and I'm the broker owner of Fortis Mortgage. We're located right outside of Washington D.C., in Maryland, in the suburb in Maryland, College Park near the University of Maryland. And welcome to our broker playbook today. So, who am I? I'm again, like I mentioned, I'm Shawn Williams. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son of a single mother. I say that because I'm very proud that my mom's taking very good care of me, and was able to get through some adversity and all that good stuff. And I attribute a great deal of that and what I guess they call quote unquote success to my family. And lastly, I'm a relationship builder, and really love to connect people as much as possible. Um, what I do for almost the last 17 years, I've been in the mortgage industry and held a few key leadership positions in some regional, national companies. And at the end of 2018, we decided to start a mortgage brokerage, a mortgage shop, and that's me. So again, Shawn Williams, broker owner of Fortis Mortgage. So one of the things when I was speaking earlier with the AIME team a couple weeks ago, they asked me to talk about humanizing the mortgage experience. That's something that my company really talks about in a phrase that I coin. And so, to me, how we humanize the mortgage experience is everyone knows we're all kind of chasing for automation. We're chasing for technologies that can make the experience a lot, more efficient for us as the employees or the companies, but also for our clients to have a real digital experience. Well, behind that, there needs to be some human interaction. So obviously working the systems, but also communicating with the clients and communicating with the borrowers. And so the way that we say that we humanize the mortgage experience is that we want to make it so easy that they don't feel like they're going through a mortgage transaction, right? And we want them to feel like, hey, this is too good to be true. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be a very difficult transaction. And so that's the way that, if we're going to talk about how we coin humanizing the mortgage experience, that's what we talk about. So one of the ways that we really do that, and something that I'll talk about today, we use a lot of video. So pretty much anything that we do, like for instance, there are triggers that happen with milestones from your POS or from your CRM. So each time some sort of a milestone happens within your mortgage transaction, some trigger goes out. Well, what we've decided to do as well is we were adding videos to those triggers. So as opposed to saying, hey, your appraisal was ordered. We've been doing these animated videos that we got created, and it kind of tells a 1 to 2 minute story of what it means to order an appraisal. What is an appraisal? What's the difference between an appraisal and an inspection? All the way through clear to close. Each time that our milestones go out, there's some sort of an animated, maybe a little cheesy, but it gets the job done and folks really like it, but it's super informative. And we get so many compliments back on that. So that's a way that we humanize the mortgage experience through video because as you all know, this process for many that haven't gone through it, or for even some that have gone through it, that haven't had the best experiences and such, it can get pretty daunting, right? And so when we have these videos, the feedback that we get is that they're being educated and they didn't realize that this is what's happening, and it's good to know as opposed to them reading. They can either read it on their own terms or they can just click play and listen to a tutorial on how it's working. Um, so another thing that we do too as well, we create personalized videos throughout the process. So, many people, I can't say that I do anything, too much differently than everybody else that's out there, but the personal touch, the white glove service is very, very important to us. And so I say all that to say throughout the process, like the beginning of the week, I try to do it every Tuesday. The team does. We'll reach out to the borrower. We'll reach out to the agents that's on the buyer side, also the seller agents, the title companies, everybody that's involved with the purchase or the refinance, and we'll do a personalized video. Hi, this is Shawn Williams with Fortis Mortgage. It's good to see you again this week. I just wanted to, give you a quick status update as to what's going on. Your appraisal's been ordered. Your file's been, it's gone through underwriting or in the process of getting into underwriting. We're expecting to get an approval back in the next 24 to 72 hours, or, depending upon who the lender is. And so we get so much positive feedback from that because everybody feels like that they're in the loop. We don't have to have a bunch of face-to-face conversations like in the office and such. And as we know, through the pandemic, we haven't really been able to get face-to-face with a lot of people. But lots of times I get compliments and feedback on the fact that they feel like they knew us throughout the process. We'll take that same email and we will forward it to the selling agent or the listing agent on the transaction, and it keeps them in the loop as well. And we always get pretty good feedback from that as well. Um, I like to think of the way I talk about the white glove service, just like if anybody ever shops at like a company like a Nordstrom, right? So, for instance, I might go to Nordstrom and I'm looking for a tie. I'll have a blue pinstripe suit or something like that. I already have a belt. I have shoes. I pretty much know what color shirt I'm going to end up wearing. So when I walk into Nordstrom, I'm really only looking for a tie, and I go find that sales consultant that can help me. Or when I walk into the door, a sales consultant comes up to talk to me. So what happens is I tell them the type of event that I'm going to be attending, uh, exactly what it looks, at least the types of clothes that I'm going to be wearing. So one of the questions might be, "Hey, Shawn, what color suit are you wearing?" "I have a blue suit." "Well, let's walk over to the suit section and the men's section." They'll pull out a suit. "Okay, is this what it looks like?" "No, mine's pinstripe." So they'll pull a pinstripe suit out. They'll lie it on the counter or wherever they're located. They'll ask me what color shirt I'm wearing. I'll tell them a white shirt or a blue shirt, whatever the colors are. They'll go get one of each. "What kind of shoes are you wearing, Shawn?" I'll tell them the type of shoes I'm wearing, the type of belt. They'll call over to the shoe department. Someone will run over and bring a pair of shoes over, or they'll walk over and get them for me. Um, and then they'll go and they'll get a few ties. So they'll knot the ties up, they'll put them inside the suit and the shirt, and then they'll show me what it looks like. They'll show me exactly what I'm going to look like when I go to this event. Remember, I only went there to get a tie. That's the only reason that I went there, was to get a tie. However, what they've done is they've painted the picture of what it's going to look like for me when I leave that place. And so that's why we do this human touch, because we want to do that type of white glove service so that everyone feels like they're a part of the process. Okay, how can this help grow your referral business? So I think the use of videos definitely helps grow your referral business, because everyone in those offices are talking about how uh, we send a video, right? Is your lender doing this? Or in my last transaction, the loan officer I was working with didn't do any type of video like this. It makes our agents, more efficient because they don't have to check up on us all the time. We beat them to the punch. We're always giving updates. At the end of, towards the end of the transaction, when the CD comes out, or we have a client services manager who handles the back end, and she'll go through and she'll use Loom. I use BombBomb a lot, so that's the service that I use. But the rest of the team, they're usually on Loom. So she'll go into Loom and she will share her screen and she'll go through the CD, right? And just high level, not the entire CD, but just how much cash is due for closing, uh, any credits and such that might be on there, anything that's different from what they had seen before, and that goes a long ways. And what that does is, it also, not only do we get business because the referral sources and the realtors and the financial advisors and whatnot see the way that we do things, but the clients are actually referring us to as well. So our Google reviews have gone up quite a bit, gone significantly once we integrated this practice within our team. And so when you look at our Google reviews, they're pretty consistent. And something that I'm very proud of is, most of the time, the clients are saying the same thing. They're saying how we communicated well, how we had the personal touches, how we had personalized videos, how we had, videos that were explaining throughout the process. And so that's really been able to help us a lot, not only from the kind of organic piece, that we're getting from the just the referrals within our network, but we're now starting to see traffic come from the internet through Google because of the reviews that we're getting. So, how do you utilize video to walk clients through the mortgage process? So, I kind of talked about that earlier, like walking the clients through the mortgage process. So, every milestone that we have, there is animated explainer video that explains everything from what each milestone is, and so that's the biggest piece that we use each time that we get off the telephone with someone. We always follow up to reiterate what we talked about on the phone. I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes it's hard to articulate exactly what you want through typing on a keyboard and get your point across, or it's just sometimes even tough to tell what the tone is. Uh, Sometimes people think you're mad, or or if you give a short answer, you're a jerk or whatever it might be. But when you do the video, it's natural, it's real. You can get your point across. It's like really like having a conversation. And so what we do is when we explain that whole process, we go from start to finish. Like we'll tell them, hey, this is what's going to happen. We're going to hand you off to this, particular team. This is what they're going to do in the process. We're going to take you to the next team. This is what they're going to do in the process. This is how long it's going to take for an appraisal. This is how long it's going to take, for your underwriting. This is how long, this is what I need you to do when you get the disclosures from the lender and such. And so I think that goes a really long ways because we actually over communicate, so that there's really no reason why folks don't get it right. So it's just like, hey, I'm sending an email, but they have to figure it out, like how to work through it. And so the goal is to make it frictionless and make it as frictionless as possible. And this is how these videos are helping. How are you using video content to stay in front of your network? So live streaming. Um, as you can see behind me, I have a little bit of a setup. Before the pandemic, I was talking to my wife, and I said we wanted to sort of try to entertain people a little bit more at our house, and just have friends over for dinner, our kids, parents and such from sports that they play in school and things like that. And so I decided to make a little lounge area in my basement. And so I got the reclaimed wood and just made a little setup. I got uh, a studio, like a roadcaster to do this audio setup, microphones, all that good stuff. And then bam, a few weeks later, national, or actually global, pandemic happened, and so we're sheltered in place. At the time, I'd always had it kind of in my business plan to work through being like sort of a thought leader, to invite people into a Zoom call or some type of call to talk about the industry, even competition. It doesn't matter, but just to give people information, as much information as possible. Well, at the time when the pandemic started, there were a lot of folks that were sort of panicking, and so I one day was on LinkedIn, which I'm really active on LinkedIn, and I saw there was some like little red dot on there, and it's like it says go live. So I did a little bit more research on it, and I figured out that I could do live streaming on LinkedIn. I didn't understand how much of a privilege that is, because it's my understanding that LinkedIn doesn't allow everybody to do the live streams. So I gave it a try. I gave it a shot. And so at the time when I started it, I had clients and they were talking to me about, hey, I'm going to have to teach my kids now and do homeschooling. I've never done anything like that before. Some of the realtors, hey, Shawn, how are we going to close loans now? We can't even show houses. How are we going to get signatures on these documents for title and such? So I took all those problems that I was hearing and I started to invite people on because they were already in a network. And it was just a thing that, hey, listen, it would be a shame that I'd have these networks and these connections and information and answers to some of these problems and not be able to share them with people. So the first few episodes were teachers. I had credit repair people come on because folks were worried about, hey, if I lose my job, how I'm going to pay how will I pay my bills? How will it affect my credit? Um, I had title companies come on to talk about how they were getting really creative in gathering signatures and such to finalize the sale. That whole thing evolved into me doing a weekly every Thursday at 2 o'clock. I do a weekly live stream. Folks call it a podcast, but it's called Lending with Purpose. So it transformed into me just bringing people on and just having random conversations about anything that we could, kind of think about any problems that we would solve. It really started with my desire to try to find jobs for people. So it was really about recruiting too as well, and providing information to folks in all walks of life and totally different industries to give them an idea of what it could potentially look like outside of COVID, outside of the pandemic, and not to really panic if you lose your job and what you need to do to get ready for new employment and such. And so then I started to think, okay, I need to dial this platform back in. I need to talk about some lending. I really don't like talking about 30-year fixed and, you know, uh, rates and products and such. That's easy to talk about, but I don't think that that adds a tremendous amount of value to a network that you've had. And remember, I've been in the business for, going on 17 years. And so for me, it was really, again, how can I bring the most value to the clients that I serve and to the network that I currently serve? And so as we started to do that, I end up talking about telling a story at the beginning about some lending aspect. um, I ask each client to tell, or each participant to tell who they are and what they do. And then we'll get into a few questions, and we try to keep as much as possible, keep it related to some type of a mortgage experience. It doesn't have to be a real estate or mortgage experience. And then we'll end with a purpose type of question towards the end. And it's been really cool because what happens and what has happened with that is a bunch of people um, reach out to me in the direct messaging, and just either pay me compliments or start to ask me questions about mortgages, or just ask me questions about, can I connect them with someone? And it's not really them trying, because on LinkedIn everyone's trying to sell you something and connecting with you to sell you a product or whatever it might be. But it was more or less I was adding value to the network, and so the network was coming back, really rewarding me for that, and I was getting a good bit of, and I still am to this day. We get a great deal of referrals through that, and a great deal of connections, and just being top of mind with people. And so just like kind of like a TV show, you're like subject matter expert, and or just become a celebrity, so to speak, which I'm totally not a celebrity, but you become something that they look forward to seeing each week. And so for over a year, I think I've missed 3 times in over a year. And so that's been really good for us, and for me too as well, with a personal brand on streaming live. So that's been a really good thing. All right. The other thing I want to talk about, text messaging. So I like to text a lot too as well. I feel like I can solve the, all the world's problems through a text message. I just feel like that's a natural way for me to communicate, because it's quick. I can multitask. I can do other things too as well, and I can touch more people while I'm doing so. One of the things that's been very successful and helpful and impressive within the network is when we also connect people, we connect through video, right? And so if someone's asking for a referral to a vendor of some sort, or whatever it might be, if we feel like we want to connect someone with a title company, or connect someone with uh, uh, any resource within our network that we can help, we'll actually do a quick video. Hey Bob, this is Shawn Williams. I just wanted to take the time to connect you with Charlie or Susan, and I tell a little bit about each one of them, and then I'll ask them connect, and then that's gone really well for us too as well. So just a lot of communication through text messaging or video has been very helpful. I've found that I've been more impactful and more successful using LinkedIn over Facebook. Although obviously the friends and your personal connections, so to speak, are on Facebook. I'm finding that on this particular platform, at least the way that I'm using it and the content that we have and what we're distributing, it's working very well on LinkedIn, and folks are very receptive to that. And so I've been on LinkedIn for a while, just through the leadership positions that I've had. It's just where I've spent the greatest amount of time. So I'm using it because I've identified that that's where my greatest sort of influence might be, and my greatest engagement is in LinkedIn. When we really the times that we post in Facebook, I haven't seen a tremendous amount of activity like coming back our way. There'll be people that like our post and they'll say great things about it, but I haven't really seen a lot of referrals come through Facebook. So what we've been doing with the content is we've been taking what we do on LinkedIn and it goes up on YouTube. And so we're creating a YouTube channel. We need to do a better job at promoting it, but we have a channel and that's where everything lives. And so there's a database of assets of these live streams that we're doing. We'll then take those and we'll repurpose them. We'll repurpose that information and we'll put it out on Facebook in sort of a short video, 2 to 3 minute video, and we get pretty good feedback from that. We're using Instagram too as well, but LinkedIn is where the audience is. So the audience that I'm trying to reach and that we're trying to reach on LinkedIn are professionals, obviously, because many people are transacting, so to speak, on LinkedIn, and they have gainful employment most of the time, and it's a network where it's okay to do business there. It's okay to build relationships and to work and to do business. And so on some of the other platforms, I don't know that I personally feel as comfortable talking business on there. But I think the LinkedIn platform is more or less one where it's encouraged for you to build networks and build relationships and to actually do business. So um, that's why I think it's important that you work through LinkedIn too as well with this. So also one of the things when I first started the mortgage brokerage, because it can get very expensive to start to hire a bunch of people when you're just getting started. Uh, so one of the things that I did when I first started this brokerage, I should say, because I've been working for other companies and help building large teams and such, but I'm a broker owner. It started, and I was the only employee, along with one other person that was doing bookkeeping and more or less an executive assistant. Then we grew into bringing someone in house to be front and back in person, and we were a very small team. One of the things that I've always known is that branding yourself is very important. So anytime you see me, for instance, you'll see that I have something Fortis Mortgage on. I don't remember the last time I bought like any clothing outside of getting screen print and stuff like that, or embroidery with Fortis Mortgage. But I say all that to say I know realize how important the branding piece is. So what we did is we outsourced our marketing department, right, and graphic design specifically, because it's very important that when you put something out, it's like looks high quality. It's a consistent brand in regards to your colors and your brands, in regards to your brand coloring and such. And so we reached out to a company that does some on-demand uh, uh, graphic design, and so you pay them a monthly a monthly subscription, and each day they'll create marketing assets for you. So every single day we'll take an ask, we'll go into their portal, we'll upload some things that we'd like to get in regards to a design. Hey, take Sean's picture and put it on there and put a Monday motivational quote. Um, here's a flyer that we like that's talking about a down payment assistance program or something like that. I'd like you to put a couple families on here, and this is the text that it needs to look like. And so over time, we build that in these particular companies, or this company we use is called Design Pickle. It's an outstanding company. We pay them a monthly fee, and uh, every day they have on demand kind of marketing assets that they put out for us. And so the key thing with that particular company, which is awesome, is we use the same designer each time. So every day that anytime that someone is doing the designs for us, they know what our brand is, they know what we're looking for. They've built and grown into kind of being a contractor or an employee of Fortis Mortgage. And so that's been something that's been very helpful to us, because pretty much every day we'll get somewhere between 2 to 4 different assets. And what we've been doing is we've been creating a content library. So as we scale and as we bring on people, and then we run this through our compliance team to make sure that it's compliant and it's got the right disclaimers and such on there. And then what we can do is we can pop this information into our own internal portal that we built, and so people can just go to that and know that these documents are compliant, and they can post them on social media. They can send them to clients. They can include them into emails and such. And that's been something that's been very helpful to us and helps our brand look, high quality, and it makes us look like a very mature company. And so that's another thing that I'd like to share with the team too, or everyone that's listening today, is that I think it's worth the cost to invest in something like that, because if you think about, if you're hiring in-house folks for graphic designs and such versus paying a monthly subscription to someone, um, it could help your cost quite a bit. At some point, we'd love to bring that employee internally, but right now it's really serving its purpose and it's really helping us grow and it's really helping us look outstanding to the marketplace. All right, so I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to everyone today. I was surprised when the AIME team reached out to me, and it's always great to have the feeling that someone's noticing some of the efforts that you're putting into it. And so I'm really appreciative of that. Like I said earlier, I'm just going to reiterate video. Super, super important to use video when you're communicating. It's just a great way to communicate. I didn't talk about this, but our team has gone all in on disc. It's just the assessment and the analysis to give you an idea of how you prefer to communicate and what your communication styles are. And so within our team, we kind of understand like how we like to be communicated with, but also how others we should be communicating with them. And so the reason that we do the video is because email is not for everyone. Text is not for everyone. Wherever the videos, it serves, great purpose for a lot of people because it's actually like a real conversation. And sometimes you pick up the phone and you talk to someone, and that 5 minute conversation turns into 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it may be. So I'm finding that I'm still able to get my point across, still again humanizing the experience, the mortgage experience, but also being very efficient in doing that. Number two, live stream. I would just encourage anybody that has the opportunity. It doesn't have to be LinkedIn. I was blessed and fortunate enough to be one of the I think they said there's like 1% of the users that get access to it. So that was a blessing for me, but it doesn't have to be LinkedIn. It could be anything. You can do Instagram live. You can do Facebook. There's all kinds of platforms. I see Vimeo has it now. Amazon, if you have a book or a service or something, you can go on and do something like that as well. Um, but I think the live streaming aspect is very cool because anytime someone sees you out there and they see you talking, just like a TV show, it just looks like that, you're a celebrity or something, or, they can just count on seeing you. So I'm all in on the live stream. I think that that's important. Me, I'm more comfortable with the interview style, question and answer, mostly me being the question asker. So definitely that. And then the last piece, if you aren't doing it now, there are many of our lenders that we partner with that actually offer marketing assets to us. However, I would recommend taking it a step further because, for instance, if we're all using the same marketing assets and people are seeing the same thing, sometimes it's not as customized as we would like it to be. Sometimes it doesn't fit our exact brand, like in regards to our colors and such, and in the theme that you want to go with your company. So I highly recommend, if you can afford to spend, I think hours, you can go, and it's called Design Pickle. There's a bunch of companies now that are coming out doing these, but we pay a monthly subscription, and we get the marketing assets done for us on demand every single day. We'll pop into their portal. We'll put what we're looking to get out of it, and then the next morning, typically like 4 or 5 a.m., we have all the assets to use for our marketing. So again, if I had any advice, I would definitely tell folks those three things are super important for you to do. I really think if you're not using video to communicate, you're doing yourself a disservice because everyone likes it and they love it, and you give them the information the way that they want to receive it. So also, real quick, um, you remember I said earlier about the fact that we want to make this process so easy that folks don't feel like it. So I had to write this down, and I just wanted to make sure that I got this in. We were speaking with a client the other day who was looking to do another like purchase, like that we did their refinance, and now they're looking to purchase investment properties. And we had a Zoom call going on, and we asked her how things went with the refinance because we were always asking for referrals within our network. And so she said, um, "You guys made it so easy that I felt like it should not have been that easy. All right, I felt like that something was supposed to, like I was missing something." She also said that I felt like this wasn't a business transaction, that your team worked to educate me so that I wouldn't be in a bad space 5 to 10 years from now. All right. So again, what however you do your business is fine. I totally understand. But the goal, in many cases, if you're looking to build a sustainable business, right? People don't care, how much you know until they know how much you care. All right. So hope everybody has a great one. Thank you again for the opportunity. Feel free to reach out to me if I can ever help you in any way. And have a great one. Thank you.